The spiritual journey is not a career or a success story. It is a series of small humiliations of the false self that become more and more profound. Gustav Jung. 5 ways to humiliate the false self. But first, what exactly is the false self? It's that part of you that is trapped, stuck, or tricked by fear. It's that naive part of you that's propped up like a puppet by culture, politics, and religion. It's that tiny part of you that takes up all the room by causing you to fall victim to cognitive dissonance despite open-mindedness. The false self is stuck in its own certainty, trapped in what it thinks it knows, confined by the prison bars of its own comfort zone. It's that part of you that is so afraid to fail that it creates the greatest failure of all, never taking a risk. You must continuously humiliate the false self to stay ahead of the curve. As Baal Shem Tov said, "Let me fall if I must fall. The one I am becoming will catch me." Number 1. Humiliate your culturally conditioned self. To get out of your own way, you must be capable of reconditioning your cultural conditioning. This is perhaps the most important task of a truth seeker. If you cannot humiliate your cultural conditioning, you will forever remain a puppet to it. Reconditioning your conditioning may be one of the most difficult tasks you will ever attempt. There'll be landmines of cognitive dissonance to navigate. There'll be mass amounts of cultural pressure. There'll be many hard truths you will have to swallow. But as Nietzsche said, no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Number 2, humiliate your religious self. The key to humiliating your religious self is to get out ahead of it with the greater power of spirituality. Spirituality is driven by curiosity, whereas religion is driven by certainty. Spirituality is flexible and cosmic, whereas religion is rigid and dogmatic. Spirituality is courage-based, whereas religion is fear-based. Spirituality is interdependent, whereas religion is codependent. Spirituality is vulnerable intimacy with the infinite, whereas religion is veiled invulnerability pretending to be intimate. Spirituality speaks a language older than words, whereas religion speaks a language limited by words. When you choose spirituality over religion, you're choosing healthy non-attachment over unhealthy attachment. You get ahead of the existential game. The journey is allowed to be the thing. The truth quest is never forsaken for the truth. Number 3, humiliate your political self. When you're outflanked by people who can't think outside the box of their political beliefs, you must be capable of being the bigger person and detach yourself from the box of your own political beliefs. Otherwise, you remain just another run-of-the-mill, closed-minded political sycophant. When you're able to go meta, politically speaking, you see how the partisan propaganda and the political claptrap is nothing more than a culturally conditioned song and dance. You see the two-headed hydra of partisan politics planning itself out. You see how each side's attempt to cut off the other's head just leads to more heads. You see how it just leads to further sycophancy and deeper political blindness. Better not to feed into either side. Better to have a flexible political notion rather than a political fixation. Best to entertain a political thought without accepting it and then move on smartly with your honor intact. Number 4, humiliate your notion of self. Definition of self: masks all the way down, perceiving delusions all the way up. Masks and delusions reinforce the illusion of a truth, neither of which are true. The only truth is ungraspable. The only way to grasp this truth is to let go of it. The only way to feel it is to sacrifice it to the truth quest. You do this by staying one step ahead of your cognitive dissonance through the ruthless self-interrogation and by entertaining a thought without accepting it. You're a delusional creature caught up in an indifferent and absurd universe. We all are. You either learn how to transcend it or it will crush your truth-seeking spirit. Integrate the absurd. Embrace the paradox. Let go of the need to hold on. Burn the effigy of self. Let the phoenix of non-attachment rise out of the ashes. Number 5, humiliate your concept of God. Your concept of God is probably more akin to a religious hang-up than an infinite interconnectedness of all things. As a truth seeker, this must be remedied. lest you remain a victim to the outdated notions of your forefathers. The best way to do this is to simply redefine the concept of God. Step 1. Stop pretending you're not God. Understand that everything is connected to everything else. You are the universe becoming aware of itself, and you have a responsibility to this sacred unfolding. You are always God in disguise. You are always God playing peekaboo with itself. As Alan Watts said, you are something that the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing. Discovering the God within yourself is merely the parting of the veil. It's the cutting away of delusion. It's the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of all religious pretense that came before. It's the complete eradication of everything you were culturally conditioned to believe. In the end, God is just a word, and you shouldn't use it without quotation marks around it anyway.